Natchez.
Now, when you bought that sweater, right? You just go, fuck it. $10 inches shorter, right? 5'4",
I call you
6'2".
son,
Yeah,
I call you
10 inches.
kid, I call you child, I call you whatever the hell I want.
Okay, that's very disrespectful, and I don't appreciate that. What's going on, man? How you been, brother?
Man, it feels like it's been longer than a week. This week is
Yeah,
dragging.
yeah. Yeah, this week's been pretty shitty. I think it started out shitty because of Sunday, because like the Super Bowl was like whatever.
Yeah, that was hard to watch.
Yeah, it was boring, bro.
I told
I'll say
Mel,
it was boring.
yeah, I told Mel, I said, you know what? Usually, I'm not a fan of either team, but I hate Brady, so KC is my de facto team. But I told her, I said, you know what? I don't want it to be an exciting game. Like I usually want to see an exciting game because I'm a fan of the sport, but I hate Brady so much
Right.
that I don't even want to enjoy the game. I want it to be a blowout, and it turned out to be a blowout the other way.
In the other way.
Work out.
No, I think so. Look, we talked about it during the game, right? And we didn't even like preface this with in the pre-roll. Like what bothered me about all the flags was that it didn't let us like enjoy the game. It kind of, I don't think it would have changed the outcome. I think Tampa Bay would have won anyway.
Yeah.
Because if you pressure Patrick Mahomes on 29 of his 39 dropbacks and all that shit, and he's running for his life every single play,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? It could have ended up 9-6 or whatever the fuck. Like it wouldn't, but it would have been like a dominating 9-6.
Mm-hmm.
But the flags, like interjected the referees and gave people something to bitch about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if those flags don't happen, it doesn't change the outcome of the game. Probably the same score and all that shit. But that's what bothered me. And some of them I was like, dude, they play like this all season, and you call it like that now? They play like that in the AFC Championship game and the
Talking about the
divisional
DBs
round.
holding and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. And it wasn't even like I've seen holding. Like I've seen holding in the
NFL.
NFL.
Bad. I've seen them do worse. I mean, hell, New England gets away with it all the time. How they pick and hold people, but
yeah, I've seen where like literally looks like the receiver and the DB are holding hands the whole way down the field because the DB's trying to keep them within arm's length, and they don't call that shit. I didn't think it was anything excessive. Like in those moments, just like in the NBA, right? You want to let the best players play.
right.
Like you don't, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to be the bailout reason or something to complain about.
Yeah.
And that's what bothered me about the game. Where it was like, it takes me out of it. It takes me out of it.
Yeah, it was hard to watch. I watched the whole game, but I was on my phone. Just I would look up every once in a while. But Mahomes had his back to his receivers on just about every drop back. That dude was going back like 20 yards. I think he only took one, maybe two sacks. I was surprised because he was.
I think he ended up with 4 actually.
But I mean,
4 total.
I'm surprised it was only 4 of them because he was running for his life and he was 20 yards behind the line of scrimmage easily, 25 on every play. And by the time that like how long do you expect your receivers to run and try to get open? And he had no left tackle.
Yeah.
They lost him in the AFC Championship game, and then I think they lost. You mentioned they lost their right tackle earlier in the year. So unfortunately, I don't think it was the officials that kind of halted the game where it didn't let it. It wasn't a smooth game, like especially on the KC side. It was when they were on defense, it was a holding and they killed themselves with like actual penalties, like jumping off sides, where they extended drives, where field goals turned into touchdowns because of offside penalties. And then some holding calls that weren't really holding, but I think for the most part, like you said,
it was pass interference calls.
Yeah, the PI calls on uncatchable balls. Tampa Bay would have won though. Like that was a dominating performance. So you hate to see it. The fact that the referees got involved too much and that he didn't have an offensive line. But what can you do? That's what you get.
It kind of leads to that whole like those memes and jokes of like the Tom Brady Patriots that would always get those calls, right? Where like now Tom Brady's, you know what I'm saying? Like it might not be true. It might just be completely circumstantial, and it's just us being haters of Tom Brady. Look, I 100% acknowledge him as the GOAT, right? He's the greatest of all time.
He is
to
GOAT.
win.
Yeah.
So 7 Super Bowls is unparalleled. Like, because he could have, like, I was thinking about it, and I was like, man, what are we going to talk about? and I was like, we obviously got to talk about the Brady shit, but what he did is better than what Jordan did because you only have one chance, right? Like it's not a series where like, oh man, the Pistons got Jordan that one time. Well, we got him in game 2. We got him in game 3. You know what I'm saying? Like you have chances to fix your fuck up.
Yeah.
There's no fixes in the NFL. It's do or die. That's
Right.
it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And for him to do what he's done, like this is probably the most talented team he's had since that what was it, that Randy Moss team that went 18-1 and lost to the
To the
Giants.
Giants, and you know,
Yeah.
on that vein, like right, it took we mentioned it on the last show. It took miracles for Brady to
Yeah.
lose twice
Yeah.
against the Giants, and I'm not sure
Yeah.
who he lost against. Was it the Rams?
Philly.
Philly? No,
Philly.
yeah, Philly. Not
Yeah.
the yeah. It was
40-32.
it's crazy. I mean, it took some ridiculous plays, especially in the Philly game. Right? It was like a strip sack or a safety, some craziness.
Yeah, a strip sack, a fucking Philly special, which was that fake pass
Yeah.
handoff thing that got him, and then like that toss to Nick Foles. It took some miraculous plays for that to happen. Like even with all that, giving up all those yards, he still threw up 500 and some yards and a Super Bowl and playoff record.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like Tom Brady is unquestionably the GOAT.
Yeah,
like,
I hate that guy.
I can still hate him because
I hate him. He's married to Giselle. He's got a $5 billion mansion. He's aging backwards. He looks like he's 21
Benjamin
instead
Button.
of 41.
Yep, doesn't make sense. Yep.
Yeah, fuck
100%.
that dude. But he's the GOAT.
Fuck that dude.
And look, hey,
He's the GOAT.
that should put all that talk, right? Maybe that he's a system quarterback. Like,
Yeah. He is the
it
system.
helps that he has Tampa Bay
Yeah.
defense. They were ridiculous.
Yeah, but like, look, and Ryan Clark, I'm not going to take credit for this shit. Ryan Clark from ESPN said this shit. He is the greatest organization, general manager, and quarterback in the history of the NFL. Because, dude, like, till he sat down with Bruce Arians, was like, hey, man, you're doing too much. You're undermining me in the media. I am the GOAT. You're just a coach. That, cool. You're just a guy. Right? Like, you're going to be like a fun fact. Like, who was the coach that was dragged by Tom Brady to a Super Bowl win? Oh, Bruce Arians.
Jesus.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he's never going to be in a discussion for a GOAT coach or anything like that. What Tom Brady did to I think besides the Browns, they're like the worst organization in the NFL. Like, as far as like win percentage and shit like that, they're one of the worst teams. They're one of the worst organizations ever.
Yeah.
But what he did with them, it's unparalleled, bro.
Hey, look, stop it. Look, he's a GOAT. He
It
wanted a Super Bowl, but let's not forget, and maybe the expectations were low this year, but he went into Tampa with a lot of young talent. You didn't know what was going to happen or what was going to come of that talent. There was a lot of talent on that team, and you can see, and that's why they say quarterback is the most important piece, right? One guy on the offensive side made all that talent work. Whereas, I mean, what's his name?
I think
what happened to what happened to Jameis? Where the fuck did he go?
Jameis Winston. Oh yeah.
And then their offensive coordinator,
with the same talent.
Yeah, their offensive coordinator was a former quarterback for them too, Byron Leftwich, who's
Byron Leftwich.
Yeah, a monster in his own right,
Marshall.
and he's a hell of an offensive coordinator. I mean, maybe one day he'll get a shot at head coach 10 years from now, 5 years from now.
I mean, he's black. He's black.
That's why I said 10 years.
No, that doesn't happen.
And then I said 5 years being optimistic,
well, I mean,
but we'll see.
Yeah, Eric Bieniemy hasn't gotten a chance. Todd Bowles didn't even get interviewed. The defensive coordinator for Tampa Bay.
Didn't he coach like the
Todd
Jets
Bowles,
or something?
and Todd Bowles, he coached the Jets and he coached, I think, for like a couple games, the Dolphins. Like, but I'm saying, like, they're black coaches don't get very, very rarely get a second opportunity.
Yeah, that's
like, remember Mike Singletary out of San Francisco? Like, he had a great first season, struggled the second season. They fired him, and then they went like to some random white dude. I don't even remember who it was.
Was it Harbaugh?
Like, has never been hired again. Never. That's huh?
I think it was
It
Harbaugh.
Harbaugh?
Right. And if it wasn't Harbaugh came.
Yeah, I think it was Harbaugh.
Yeah. But and then you look at Jeff Fisher.
It might have been Harbaugh.
Jeff Fisher has gotten chance after chance after chance. Now, whatever. But that was the running joke.
Now he's done. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. He won I think he had like 6 or 7 seasons where they won like 3 games and it was like, whatever. The only one that was like that was the Cincinnati Bengals coach, Marvin Lewis.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that
that
dude
just
held on
kept
for a long
losing.
time.
Like would go like 9-7, 9-7, 9-7, 4-12, 9-7, 9-7, 9-7. Get
Ten
to the
and
playoffs,
six.
lose, and yeah, 10-6. He'll throw in. He might throw in an 11-5. I think like on Andy Dalton's like first or second year, but yeah, no. The fact that Eric Bieniemy isn't a head coach is ridiculous to me. You know what I'm saying? He's the offensive coordinator for Patrick Mahomes. They don't even interview him. Like, nah, we don't. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Whatever.
but Andy Reid acknowledged it that he is the guy that makes that offense go.
Yeah,
He turns to
100%.
him. Turns to him and he says, "What play are we running in this situation?" Like he doesn't take over
where
play
they made the mistake. Yeah, where they made the mistake to finish the Super Bowl recap Wednesday after is the fact that they didn't run the ball enough. Like when you run that defense, they could have ran the ball, but they chose not to. Right? Like you got to save Patrick Mahomes too. Like you can't just let him do, you know what I'm saying, run around for his life on every play because he took some hits that I hadn't seen quarterbacks take in a long time. Because they consider as soon as he starts running, they consider him like a running back and shit like that. So it becomes a different thing. So they can hit him a little harder, which is me being the conspiracy theorist with that. That tends to happen a lot more with
black quarterbacks.
The black quarterbacks.
Right?
Yeah, right. Like
I mean,
the hits that Cam Newton would take.
Yep.
Yeah. Cam Newton's done at 10 years. Tom Brady, if I remember a play against the Dolphins, this is where my deep hatred for him comes. Like there was, because of him, they changed the rules where like you can't tackle a quarterback low because he took that bad injury, right? And then like the season or two after that, a defensive end or defensive tackle got close to his feet. Tom Brady pointed to the guy, and then they threw a flag. And they called it. I was like, hey man, but he didn't even tackle him. It was the fact that he threw himself at his feet.
Did. But he got close to touching him. Yeah, I know. That's why I hate that.
How dare he touch me?
I mean, that was that. When was
like
that
I would
game
probably
they beat Oakland. Was that the Tuck game when they beat Oakland and that led to the rule change and all?
With Charles Woodson.
Charles Woodson, yeah. I just
Hall of Fame.
There are too many instances for me to hate Brady. Like there's nothing that he can do. I'll say he's the GOAT, but I can't. And I don't hate people, and he's not even a person, so I guess that doesn't count. So fuck Brady.
No, he's an animal. that's what Tom Brady is. He's a fucking animal.
He's the GOAT. Yeah.
Bro, like he's he's the GOAT, unquestionably, and I can still hate him. That's just my sentiments and feelings on that, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. Like you can still recognize somebody's greatness and be like, you know what, fuck you. I'm sure there's plenty of people who like hate Jordan.
Yeah, I mean, my head's hurting right now. Like, I hate the guy so much, and we've talked about him for like 10 minutes right now. We need to do something else.
Yeah,
I can't take this shit.
Yeah, I mean, we're just recognizing that his greatness and moving on at the same time.
Yeah,
he was drunk as shit today at the parade, though. I'll tell you that he was fucked up because they had like a boat parade because obviously shows social distancing.
Yeah,
so they did like a boat parade, which was pretty cool. And I just saw like a video of him coming off the boat, and he was like, there were like two people were like holding him up, and he was smiling like that drunk old guy walk, like where he's like drunk as fuck. He's like, "Ain't nothing to see here, just some tequila. Was it some avocado tequila?"
Look at me now.
Instead of like avocado toast, I guess, which is a thing.
I guess so.
Is that a real thing, John? You seem like a person that would know.
I don't know, man. What's avocado toast? Do you put avocado on your toast?
You do though. Right?
I've heard of it.
No,
but is it actually?
I've heard of it. I've never done it.
Made out of avocado, or you just cut avocado slices and put them on the toast?
Here's how much I don't know.
I never looked into it.
I don't know if like somebody. I don't know if it like somebody made like bread from avocado and then they like toasted it. Like I don't know if that's the thing that's even possible.
I'm pretty sure it's just avocado slices on toast. I'm pretty sure. No, the fuck makes bread from?
Yeah, I'm sure you would know. So hey, anything's possible, bro.
Hey,
anything's fucking possible.
That's true.
Fuck out of here. Anything's fucking possible. Somebody in Silicon Valley figured out how to make bread from avocados and they just toasted it. Called that shit avocado toast. There's somebody super rich like Elon Musk probably has like avocado bread. Is that a thing, yo? That'd be some wild shit.
I mean, it could be. Hey, so there are UFC fights this weekend, which I was completely oblivious to, and it's supposed to be a pretty big fight too.
Yeah. It's the underrated, underappreciated Kamaru Usman that only puts on phenomenal performances when he fights.
Yeah,
that Kobe Covington, the George Masvidal, I mean, the man has not. I don't think he's lost in the UFC. He's undefeated in the UFC.
I think so.
Yeah.
What do you
No,
think
yeah,
he's
he
gonna do
hasn't
against
lost.
Gilbert Burns?
I think he's gonna beat him. I mean, I think they're a similar fighter, but I think Kamaru Usman just has because I picture Gilbert Burns. I mean, mind you, Gilbert Burns hasn't fought since that Tyron Woodley fight. Which,
Yeah.
how can you really judge that Tyron Woodley fight? Because Tyron Woodley isn't Tyron Woodley. The man doesn't throw hands anymore.
That last fight, he didn't. Yeah, he didn't throw a damn thing.
Nothing.
That was
Tyron Woodley's last fight too. So, if Gilbert Burns used the same game plan as Usman, right? Mm-hmm. But Usman is the writer. Everybody else is, to me, everybody else are the readers. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, this is what you need to do. Like, he's the one that puts out the game plan. So when you're the author of the book, it's very hard for somebody who like buys your book to beat you, in my opinion.
I guess if you want to go with that analogy, sure.
I think it's a solid analogy. Did it make sense though? Because I'm not gonna lie to you, like I'm a little bit intoxicated because I haven't been drinking as much lately.
Yeah, what do you
One glass was like
it's a little tough for someone who's like writing fan fiction based off your books to top what the original wrote. Okay, that's fine. We can go with it.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll let it slide.
You
must be drunk. Right? You're talking about books. You must be fucking drunk.
Yeah, no, because first of all, who reads a book? I listen to him like a fucking 2021 motherfucker.
No, you were gonna say the other word. You were gonna say the correct word. You listen to them like a
millennial.
No.
Fucking millennial.
The word Zoomer? You're not allowed to say starts with an R.
Like a fucking retard? No, yes. I'll say it. I don't give a fuck.
What? Fucking read books, you fucking moron.
Yeah. Hey, listen, man. We don't have advertisers to come at us to be like, hey, you can't say that word. We say whatever the fuck we want to say. Sorry, Mom. I love you. I apologize. That's the only thing I'm afraid of is my mom watching this shit. Which, by the way, she can't wait to watch our hot sauce episode coming up next Saturday night. Yeah.
Saturday at what time?
19:30. You motherfucker. You have to bring that back. Is that a callback insult joke? You son of a bitch. You son of a bitch.
What time would that be for the people listening at home?
7:30. 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. My brother or our little brother will be joining us from Japan. It'll be like 9:30, 10 o'clock the next day for him. We're trying to figure out like what's a good time to do it with him to have him on the show without him dying and being able to make it to PT the next day.
So that's good. That'll be Sunday morning for him, right?
Yep. I'm trying to see who else is on this card, bro, because I have literally no idea.
That's why I wasn't aware. We've got Macy Barber and Alexa Grasso. Don't know who the fuck that is, and it's
okay. Two young ones,
huh?
That's two young ones.
Yeah, it looks like two young girls. Then so there's Kelvin Gastelum, and I don't know who he's fighting. I've never heard of this guy. Ian Hainish?
Hermanson?
I don't know. Ian?
I have no idea who that is.
Don't know. Jim Miller.
No idea who that is.
It's like a journeyman. I've heard of him. And Bobby Green.
Oh my god, this is a terrible card, bro.
And Maki Pitolo and Julian Marquez. I don't know who the fuck these guys are. I know Kelvin Gastelum is fighting some dude. Maybe that dude is an up-and-comer. He looks like a young guy, so maybe he's an up-and-comer. Or maybe they're trying to give Gastelum a run for a title shot again, and it's a tune-up fight. I don't know.
Dude, this is a trash-ass card.
And that was the main card. That was the main card.
This is one trash-ass card, bro.
Yeah. I'm not going to...
God damn, I just looked at it. I was like, this should be a fucking Fight Pass card. Yeah. This should be a free fight.
Yeah, this should be on Wednesday night.
What the fuck is...
On ABC or wherever the fuck they put their fights on.
Jesus Christ. I'm looking at that shit. What is this, bro?
Yeah.
God, this is like a real live reaction because this is live. Like, you're seeing... Like, this is not a worthy fight. This is... Dude, they give Kamaru Usman no chances to blow up, man.
Yeah.
You got to put a better card like this.
Look at the kind of card that they put together for him. Who the fuck is gonna be watching this shit? Like he'll have fight of the year, but and maybe not because Usman is not that kind of fighter. He can be, but he's technical. He's methodical. He'll throw hands when he's a hell of a boxer, but
hell of a wrestler
But
yeah,
and you know what? This was his chance probably with Gilbert Burns. I mean, hell, the fight against Masvidal, which was a fucking Great fight.
They should have rematched that.
I thought Masvidal. You know, I didn't know what to think. You know, Masvidal's been around for a while.
No, he didn't win.
No. I mean, he didn't win, but Masvidal showed that he deserves to be where, you know, all the hype that he was getting, that he deserved it for sure.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, listen, I'm a big Masvidal fan, regardless of his political leanings. Cause I don't let political ideology like steer me away. Like, because you're not up there speaking about your politics. You're up there fighting. I'm a fan of you as a fighter.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't have to fucking agree with you with any other shit.
Agreed.
I don't know. I just God,
hey,
bro.
It's like Jordan said, right? I'm a fan of Jordan, but even Jordan, he said, even Republicans wear Nikes. Buy shoes, right? Some shit like that. I fucked up the quote.
I think the rest of that statement should be like, even Republicans buy the white Nikes, right? Like, he doesn't make those. I've never seen like an older white person wearing some J's. Have you?
No.
Like ever? Like no completely anecdotal, right?
No Air Force Ones. They're wearing like the old 1980s Nikes.
Yeah, they might wear like you might see someone like some Nike Cortezes, because the Nike Cortezes were like similar to like the Reebok Classics. Remember, right. Like I always thought like they would, you know what I'm saying? Which the Classics are like, that's just shoes like my dad would wear to like be hip, like the all white Reebok Classics. But yeah, so I've never understood that saying like, yo man, I don't think somebody, you know what I mean, like a mid-50s white dude is buying your J's. I don't see that happening. Maybe it's completely wrong and ignorant of me to say that. Maybe there's a huge market of middle-aged white dudes like buying fucking J's at market price.
Do. You know what I mean? Reselling. I mean, their kids are buying them.
No, yeah, 100%. Their kids do. Yeah, that's true.
I mean, their kids don't have money. Their parents do, and they're buying it for them. So
100%. Dude, there was a time where like you didn't have to make a line to get J's. Like you could just go to the store.
I know.
I was never a J's guy though. More like Air Force One.
I have Air Jumpman shoes, not necessarily Jordans.
The team, yeah.
And so I have like shoes that I bought back in 06 and 07 that I still have, that I've worn maybe 3 times. And Mel's like, "Can we throw these away?" I'm like, "You don't wear them." I'm like, "Yeah, I know. That's the point." And she looks at me like, "What? Wait, what shoes? Yeah. You don't wear them, and that's the point." I said, "Exactly. You're getting it."
Exactly. Yeah, that's the end of this conversation. Like, you don't wear it, but yeah, I know. But so why don't we throw them away? No, we're not doing that. Dude, I have shoes in boxes like in this closet right here. Mm-hmm. I have my I'm like I said, I'm more of an Air Force guy, but I have like 2 pairs of LeBrons that are just hanging out in there. So I'm not fucking with that shit. Like, come on. Like, I don't even wear them. First of all, I have a bunch of dirt around me, so I'm not wearing my shoes and getting them dirty like that. If I was walking straight on pavement, that's fine.
I don't blame you.
Dude, I'm so upset about how terrible this card is. Like, that was our recap or our pre-cap of 258. It's trash.
Yeah.
How's that?
And like you said, I'm not watching it. Chance. Usman has no chance of, no matter how great his performance is, and he's up against a legitimate fighter, another good fighter, and these guys don't have a chance to really stand out. Because who's gonna be watching?
Yo, Colby's in the building. We're about to go to the Mississippi Minute.
Oh yeah,
Colby's in the building. Yeah, man. I'll pause real quick.
We'll stay on live.
On this motherfucker.
We'll stay on live, and while
we'll stay on live.
Cody's on, I will try to adjust. Holy shit! Let me try to adjust
real quick. Why does it look? Hey, why is this the casting couch? What's happening right now, Kobe?
I know what's going on right now. Let me ungroup this.
What's going on right now? Oh, all right, there it is. Hey man, that was a terrible visual of your couch there, bro.
Oh, you like that? I was trying. Do I need to?
No, I thought it was like, hey, man.
Unplug the light or something? Are we good?
No, I think we're good.
I think we're good. I just gotta adjust.
Your whiteness comes through perfectly.
Jesus.
Hey man, this is what it is. This is what we do. Hey man, that's my boy John, Kobe. First of all, meeting live. This shit's live on YouTube.
It's live on Facebook.
Facebook right now. Hey, you might need a light because you're black as shit. You might need a light in front of you, C-Dub.
What are you trying to say?
Unless you want to just flip the laptop. No, you're black as shit now. You're about to get pulled over by the police. Is what I'm trying to tell you.
What's wrong with black, man? What's wrong with you, Benjamin?
Nothing's wrong with black. No, see that light behind you?
Oh,
See that light behind you? Put that in front of you. Yeah.
Shit, now I gotta unplug something.
Oh shit. Dun.
All right.
What
The
else?
beauty of life.
What if I walk back here?
Yeah, perfect. There we go. Now we in it.
Better?
Yeah, that's much better. Hey man, we were just what the hell were we talking about? We're talking about the Super Bowl. Covered that. It was boring. And then we just talked about some UFC fights. Covered that too because it was boring. And now we want to talk to my boy Colby, aka my third best white friend. That's right. I like the group.
Hey.
My good friends in
Top three.
yeah, top three. You're in the top three. I want to say you're number two. Because I think I got to put my brother as like my best friend and my brother is like number one because he's also Caucasian. You know what I mean? So that's what keeps you from getting that gold medal. But
Jesus Christ.
are we good? Hey, this is why I tell John, we have another friend. Me and Kobe have another friend, another Jonathan, and he said he didn't want to come on the podcast because he doesn't want to get canceled. I was like, he's clearly never heard me talk shit while I've been drinking. I say wild shit.
Yeah.
Because if anybody hears that, like, oh, this guy's clearly racist.
All right. Well, I finally got the technical part figured out, so we look like a coherent show here.
All right,
so
we in it.
Appreciate everyone. Yeah, I mean we never left. We stayed live. I was just
Oh, okay. Ah, damn. I must sound terrible to people right now.
You're racist. We know it. You don't like white people.
Yeah, that's true. What's going on, Kobe? How you been, my brother?
Man, been doing good, doing well. Staying busy.
Yeah, man.
Look, I got the package of hot sauce you sent me, right?
Yes, sir.
I'm opening it up, trying to set it up for a nice little picture. One of the bottles was in a Ziploc bag. I was like, man, I thought maybe you tried it out or something, but there's still a seal on there, but it's almost like it's leaking a little bit.
Yeah.
I didn't think that's right. Yeah, I didn't think nothing of it. Wipe it down, put it up there, scratching my nose, eating tacos.
No.
I was like, hey, why is my nose? Now I realized what it was, and it was the hottest one. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
My wife's like, seriously. So I got a little. I might cheat a little bit, but clear my sinuses up, you know. So,
oh man.
Yeah, man.
That's the bomb. Yeah, that's the hottest one. Yeah, that's why we sent it in the Ziploc because it did leak, so we made sure to get it out to you as protected as possible. But that is the hottest one. That's the one that you could only do like one drop. Like you can't even coat the chicken wing in it. Yeah. Our good my co-host over here, John, is bitching out and not doing all the hot sauces. He's gonna try to find his own because he wants to find vegan, healthy ones. You know, he's on that bullshit.
By the way,
right, John?
Hey, are you done talking shit? All right. No,
never.
The ones I found just happened to be vegan. I just happened to fucking mention that shit to you. I'm not going out of my way to find vegan shit. Didn't I fucking smoke a 15-pound brisket a month ago? You
True.
Fuck.
Yeah. See?
Jesus.
He's so angry. He's so little. He's so angry.
Call me an angry elf one more time.
Oh man. Hey, so did you like when you accidentally like had the hot sauce? Did you try to taste it at all or whatever? Or just kind of surprised you in your nasal cavity?
I was knuckles deep. I didn't want to do it here on the podcast. I was knuckles deep. I felt it here in these frontal sinuses. So yeah, I can't imagine. And that was residual after I had already washed. I ran it under the sink first, and then wiped it with a paper towel. So man,
God damn.
I can't imagine what it's going to be like putting a drop of that in my mouth. But we'll see.
Hey, is that how you're gonna do it? You're gonna do it one drop at a time, or you're gonna do that craziness that your brother did, which was he drenched it in the hot sauce?
Yeah. My brother drenched it. Like he put all the hot sauces on one wing and ate it. And he sent us the video.
Like,
it's the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life.
Like a bunch of different ones on one wing, and then
yeah.
And it wasn't just one drop.
No, it was
soaked that damn wing in those hot sauces. I don't know how he was later on, the next day, the day after that, but
that
he cleared out all his intestines.
Sound
if he had COVID, he fucking killed that shit too.
Oh man.
But yeah, man. Hey, I wanted to get you on here. Obviously, we haven't done one in I think it's been like 3-4 years. Since I lived in the apartment.
Before you came up with Man Chatter, I believe. I mean, it was just, I don't even know. Yeah. I don't think it was Man.
I think it was back when I think it was like In My Own Words. I think it was like one of the 15-20 episodes I did on In My Own Words.
Damn.
That I even had. I think I had you on too, John. Yeah. But yeah, man, I wanted to ask you about this town that me and John were looking up when we talked about it earlier. This town in Mississippi that they're trying to get people to live there by paying them, like giving them a stipend. What do you think about that? And what's that all about? Because you knew all about it. You were saying like everything's historic and shit. So I wanted to bring you on the podcast and talk about that in this Mississippi Minute.
So first off, I'm mad that I came here for free. I would like to start with that. Nobody gave me a check, and I'm just here. So
true.
No, so I had not heard this until I got the message from you about the city's called Natchez, Mississippi. It's one of the probably most historic sites from New Orleans up the Mississippi. You know, you've got Vicksburg, which was one of the key cogs in the Civil War. Natchez is south of Vicksburg on the river if you're heading up north. It's a small little town that's in the bend of the river. Bunch of old, like John Sal said, man, everything is historic, you know. A bunch of antebellum homes because a lot of slave owners, that's where they wanted to live, man. And it just, you know, plantations and after plantations, and a lot of those homes are still standing today. You can go tour them. Mm-hmm. It's just a cool place. And there's a Catholic church, and we did a little carriage ride, me and my wife, through the city, which was kind of cool because you get all the little historical facts that you don't really read about in the paper or see on Twitter. Mm-hmm. You know, so that was cool. It's got a bunch of good, everywhere here in the South, man, known for food. There's a bunch of good food places, a couple famous like tamale places. There's a place called Under the Hill, and back in the day, people would go there, kind of your rough and tough crowd, your gamblers, your bootleggers, stuff like that. That's where they would hang out, called Under the Hill. And now you can go there as a tourist, and they got restaurants and stuff like that. Just a cool little town, man. It's about maybe an hour and a half from here, so it's pretty quick little trip. You know, you can make a day of it. You know,
okay.
Size-wise, you know, if you're really looking for like a Civil War historical reference, Vicksburg would be a better option, you know, just because it's a bigger city and they've got the military, the battlefield park there in Vicksburg, which is cool. What I told y'all about Grant, you know, Ulysses S. Grant, you know, the general for the Union, when he came up the river from New Orleans, when they were going to take Vicksburg from the Confederacy, they passed up, they burned a lot of things. They burned Jackson, they burned a bunch of places, but one of the things he says allegedly was that he didn't burn Natchez because it was too pretty. That's kind of a cool thing, you know. And maybe that's just something that somebody made up one day and it stuck, but you know, it sounds cool, you know.
Yeah.
But that's Natchez, man. You know.
Natchez.
Little town on the river, man.
Yeah. Hey, John, you had a good point. John, you had a good point before we got on about like why people are giving why Mississippi might be giving that stipend for that town. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, I know Oklahoma is doing the same thing, and a couple other states, but especially with the last year with COVID and the lockdowns and a lot of companies going to remote work, where people don't have to live in San Francisco anymore, or that Silicon Valley, where homes are 900,000, $1 million plus. If you're making 300,000, 400,000, you can go live anywhere in the states. You don't have to go into the office anymore. So I know a lot of these places, like in Oklahoma, there are. I don't know how much 10 grand is to someone that's making 400 grand a year, but I mean Oklahoma. I don't know if it was. I can't remember what city, but they're offering people 10 grand to move in. Because if you're making 2, 3, 400,000 and you can leave California, and these towns have been hit by the lockdowns, then that's just more money that's going to be infused into the local economies, right? People going back to restaurants, people going back to the local shops to put money into the economy. And I mean, it's working. Some people are moving there. I just don't know how many people it could attract. Like 10 grand to someone that's making 100 grand or 200 grand. I don't know that that's going to be much of an incentive, But, there are other things, I'm sure. Does Mississippi have state taxes? I need to look into that.
We do.
You do?
We do. We have, yeah. It's low. It's like 7%, 8%.
Okay.
It's not a high number. Florida does not have state tax, correct?
Correct. They have higher than usual
yeah.
than normal sales tax than in
Sales.
other states. But
Yeah. That's how they make up for it.
Yeah. And depending where you are, the property taxes could be pretty high too. Same thing with Texas, right? You can go to San Antonio, Austin. There's no state tax, but property taxes could be higher than. Some people would consider them high. Like I know I was in South Carolina and Tennessee when I was still active duty, and we had houses there, and the combined property taxes for my house in South Carolina and my house in Tennessee did not add up to the property taxes that I pay here in Cleveland every year. They were like half of what I pay. Both of those houses. So property taxes here are like 2% in this part of town.
Wow.
And it's 4% a little bit farther up, like 20 minutes from here. There's a house that I was going to buy. That house was like 70 grand less than the house that I bought that I'm living in now. But the monthly payment would have been the same because of the difference in property taxes. It would have been like 9, almost 10 grand in property taxes a year. Nuts.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
Damn. So you're in Cleveland? Did I hear that? Cleveland, Ohio?
Unfortunately, I am. Yeah.
Strongsville.
Yeah, this back here is not. I'm not in a holding cell right now. Like I'm not about to make a hostage video or anything like that. I'm in the basement. I just need to put a backdrop here because I moved my studio from my home office down to the basement. Because my oldest son, just left for the Air Force a couple months ago, so I took over his room.
Congratulations, man.
Yeah, he made the right choice. Choice I should have made over 15 years ago. But hey, you learn.
Hey, Colby, one of the things we try to talk about even more recently is about like financial understanding and planning and shit like that. Is that something that you've always been wise to? Like this is shit that I'm learning now, right? About like stocks, especially now it's in the atmosphere with like the whole GameStop stuff and like planning for our retirement. I mean, because we do the same job, right? We don't have to talk about what that is. You already know FJ. You know what I mean? Like we just ain't got to say the whole name. That's just keeping it like that. But things we can't, But have you looked into that since the beginning? Like, is that something that you growing up had that conversation with your parents, like about retirement and all that? Because we never had those conversations. At least I didn't.
Right. So, I guess short answer no. Long answer My mother is very, and I think it has to do with her second husband, not my father, but he's one of those financial, not necessarily frugal or tightwad, but he's just very financially smart.
You could say it.
They right, yeah. So they have the only bills they have are groceries and then utilities. Like when they buy a car, they pay cash. House is paid for. Super smart. My dad is on the complete other end of the spectrum. Like he's had the same house for 25 years now, probably still paying on it. When he gets a little money, he has his own business. He does flooring. He does well. Okay. When he gets a little money, he wants something, he goes and buys it. He don't put it up for a rainy day. And he does physical labor with doing flooring. And I tell him, I'm like, look, man, your back, your knees, they're not gonna last forever. Right. And me working with him all those years, that's why I decided to go back to X-ray school, because I was like, look, I mean, this is great money, and if you can grow that business and one day, maybe have 30 people working for you, it's going to be a little different. But the thing with the flooring, and what he does is I could hire both of you guys, and 6 months later, you've learned the trade. Now you're not going to work for me anymore. You're going to go work for yourself. And so that's the problem. He'll bring guys in, he'll teach them a little bit. They'll work for him. And then it's like, hey, I'm going to go buy me a wet saw and I'm going to go make more money than what you can pay me.
Right.
So I kind of got a little bit of both. With, I try to be smart now, especially now with having kids and being married, and we've got a mortgage and cars. I've got a savings account, and I no matter what, I always put money up a month. If I don't got it, I say, look, I can't do something else. I got to make sure I put that aside. But man, when I was younger, even 25, 30, man, it was, if I had a little bit of money, it was burning a hole in my pocket. I couldn't wait to spend it.
Yep.
And a funny thing is I've got a 9-year-old daughter, and she got some money for Christmas, and I was helping her clean her room out, and it was like, she got like $100. And I was cleaning her room out, and she had like $130. I'm like, where'd you get all this money? And she's like, I've been saving it. And I'm like, at 9, I was going to Blockbuster or Toys R Us or anywhere I could spend that money.
She's like, what's Blockbuster or Toys R Us?
Right? Yeah.
What is that?
Toys R Us. was that with the zebra? Like, no, it was a giraffe. Don't talk to me like that. But so, man, we years ago, NextMed offered that Dave Ramsey program, and it's probably something I should have done.
Yeah.
But I never did it. I think John Sowell, actually, him and his wife have done it, and they've got a lot of their bills paid off. And I don't know, man. You watch the news every day, and you think about with all this money being spent, whether Republican or Democrat, everybody's wanting to spend.
Mm-hmm.
And inflation's gonna, my wife was like, where do they get all this money? I'm like, they print more of it. And the thing with that is, you print more of it, it's less valuable, and then you got inflation. So it's probably something I should look more into. I'm not, not as good as I once was, but.
No.
Yeah, it's funny how kids are. Like my 12-year-old, he goes, "Oh, can we get this?" I'll say it. I'm cheap.
You're frugal. You're cheap. Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Hey, I'm proud of it. That's right. I'm either gonna save my money. 100%. I'm gonna save my money, invest my money, or like we were talking about for the last few months, trying to buy another investment property, right? A duplex, so I can rent it out. These are not the times to buy a duplex because people can't pay rent. And hey, look, if I'm gonna buy a duplex, I go in it understanding that, and I'm not going to be, what's your boy's name, Benjamin? Your favorite in-law?
Which one?
Your favorite son-in-law's name?
Kushner?
I'm not gonna be Jared Kushner and try to take people's money when they don't have any money, right? Especially when they're passing laws saying for rent payment relief. But at the same time, I don't want to be stuck with a property for a year, not being able to generate any income, paying it out of my pocket, and then trying to prorate that, and they're tough times, man. And I grew up in a time where, again, my mom, we were immigrants. My mom was poor. She was a hustler. So I learned like she would do her own business and get the licenses and do whatever she had to do. And so I learned that from her. But she wasn't the best about trying to keep that money, or sometimes she just made like kind of decisions without thinking it through completely. And so I went the opposite way. I'm holding on to my money. I'm like I said, so I save it, I invest it. I give Benjamin a hard time because I don't feel like paying $75 for hot sauces. I said, no. I'm gonna go find some alternates, and I'll pay $25, $30, $35. I'm not paying $75 for six hot sauces
I saved
that
Colby
I'm not going to use,
so.
dude. I'm gonna use it one time. I'm gonna yell. I'm gonna sound like a little bitch, and then I'm gonna throw the hot sauces out. I'm not doing that.
Cry, yeah. We're gonna cry on that podcast.
But my 12-year-old did the same thing. Oh, Dad, you make how much? And like I told him my salary, so he broke it down he put it into his phone and the calculator. So you make this much an hour. Why can't you buy? It's only this much. You make that in like 2 hours. I'm like, dude, no, you don't really understand the concept of money yet. I mean, you're right, but I'm not gonna buy that for you. All right, stop trying to justify it with whatever calculation you just did.
Do y'all, when you talk about rental properties, do you guys have forget what it's called? It's like here, it's like not Project 8, but it's Section 8. Y'all have that where
Section 8 is
a guaranteed.
It's a guaranteed, essentially like voucher from the government, so you're always gonna get your rent. And people have a misconception about Section 8. I mean, there are bad things involved with that, but there are good tenants with Section 8. They're low income. That's why they're getting that
Right.
Section 8. And, not every low income person is a criminal or is going to destroy your property, etc. But, I mean, just like with anyone, you would run background checks to ensure that people
Right.
are, on the up and up and they're going to take care of your property. And then, yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good thing about Section 8, that you'll get your check no matter what because it comes from the
For
government.
sure. Yeah. One of
Man,
one of the
about
guys
that.
one of the guys that
Okay.
we work with, Ben, is it Doug? He's got a bunch of rental houses properties.
Oh yeah.
And what he told me while we were training together is he said what he would do is, you run background checks and you make sure these guys or girls are on the up and up, but things can happen. So he said every month what he would do is he would go in, he put it in the contract in writing, where every month he would go in and change the air filters in the houses. That gave him a way in, and he could check and make sure somebody wasn't stealing an air conditioning unit or pull the dishwasher, whatever it be. I was like, that's smart. So just a
Yeah, it's a
I
pretty
didn't
slick
even
move
know
to be
you could
able to check on your
buy.
property without invasion of privacy.
Yeah, I didn't even know you could buy into Section 8 housing and make that additional revenue.
No, you just buy the house or the duplex or
building?
whatever it is, and then Section 8 is just a government program that
Okay.
gives people the ability to pay for housing.
right.
Yeah,
like
because
a loan.
like a loan. Okay, like a lot of people, we got to remember is like states like Mississippi, and just anywhere. Like people, you can have a full-time job and not make enough to live in and just be low income. So
Yeah.
you could be working at McDonald's or CVS, Walgreens, any of these places that only pay what 750, 815, depending on whatever state you're in. That doesn't let you, what I'm saying, you don't want to live at home forever. That gives you the ability to get on your feet and have some kind of financial independence.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
That
like you said,
and,
they're
and
not
that
all criminals.
Yeah, and that might be another positive thing. We're talking about the people offering or the state of Mississippi offering people to come here, pay them a little bit of money. Man, if you live in California and you're paying, I don't know, 60% tax rate, you come here and you're paying, maybe a quarter of that plus cost of living. If you make $10 an hour in California, you're probably below the poverty line.
Well,
You make $10 an hour here in Mississippi,
You're homeless. Yeah. Yeah.
you're not doing bad. You might live in a trailer, you might have an apartment, maybe you're driving an 08 Honda instead of an 87 Honda, but
Yeah.
you'd be doing okay.
Yeah.
So that might be another reason.
A good reason. Yeah, I think a good reason to have that, to have those stipends, is not necessarily just for like the guy making a couple $100,000 in Silicon Valley, or because California is ridiculously overpriced, right? Overtaxed. Homelessness is madness. I think it's about dispersing the population, not just to make states blue and the whole political shit that have none of that shit. It's just that we have a lot of land in this country and we tend to be concentrated in only specific areas. So dispersing that out could also help, possibly help lessen the spread of COVID, right? When when you don't have everybody living in one fucking area, you spread everybody out. Everybody is naturally distanced. It's I remember talking to y'all when this shit first hit a year ago around this time. I was like, it doesn't even seem real because I live in the country. I might see 7-8 people on a good day, right? On a busy Friday. That's about it. So for me, it was it didn't even seem real. When you spread that out to I've driven through Arkansas, San Antonio when doing the training for this job. There's a lot of land out there that could be built up. So people think just because I got to live in this apartment, I got to live in this major city, especially coming from a major city like Miami, like John and I have, I would much rather prefer the country every day. I would prefer to have better internet living in the country. That's a whole nother issue that I want to take up with my local congressman. This bullshit that I got to deal with satellite. So if I get bad weather, I should have fucking fiber cable because I live in America, motherfucker. How about that? No, I do. That's all I have. If I didn't have satellite, I wouldn't be
running
here.
on the wheel trying to keep your lights on.
I inject that motherfucker with bang and cocaine. Keep
I
on
keep wanting
running.
to hear.
Yeah.
Hold on, Ben, logging back online.
I haven't heard that since I was 15, 14.
Oh my god, dude! Remember how long it would take to load a picture?
You'd set up Napster and go to school. and then come back and hope 3 songs are downloaded.
Napster. Oh shit.
Yeah.
No one knows about that.
Fucking
Napster. Damn, we're old.
Burning-
LimeWire. None of that. They don't know that shit.
Yep.
LimeWire.
Yep.
I saw a
That's
meme.
it.
I saw a meme that was like LimeWire and Napster when you gave your computer STDs and didn't give a fuck.
Ruined the family computer.
All the viruses.
Yeah.
Damn it, Ben. Listen, I had to get this new goodie mob. What do you want me to do?
Yeah.
Shit, I wasn't gonna pay for it. Fuck out of here.
Man.
But what do you
I
think
think
about like that being a possibility, Kobe? What I was talking about with like the dispersing of dense populated cities, which is why my thinking of why they're doing that, like throwing Mississippi's hat in the ring, like, hey, you can live here too. This is America too, motherfuckers.
Right. So I think that two reasons, 2 things. First, I think you've been watching too much Walking Dead, and second thing, no, man. So what it is, I've talked to people who, like you said, I've traveled, I've been to populated cities. I've never lived in just a huge. Even Jackson itself is like maybe 300,000 people tops.
Right.
So I enjoy being in a more rural setting, because I like to have a little bit of privacy, or I like to be able to go outside, play in the yard, maybe go do some outdoor stuff. But I've also traveled to New York City a couple years ago. Me and my wife went, and man, I could see people wanting to live there, not for the fact of the money or the anything else, the politics, but just simply convenience. Man, we could walk out. We were like off of 34th Street, man. We walk out, get on the subway, and we could be in Brooklyn. We could be in the Bronx within 30 minutes, and just everything was just right there at your fingertips. And I could see the draw for that. But man, like you said, I don't know if the people who love that convenience, if you could convince them, say, hey, look, the cost of living is better. Maybe the air quality is better. Maybe the people are a little more friendly. I think they would still go, you know what? It's so convenient. I'll just deal with a bunch of assholes and smog, That's my thoughts on it, And people talk about Mississippi as a hospitality state. John, I had a guy, I know you're not from Cleveland, but I had a guy from Cleveland area. I trained him. And when he came down here, it kind of blew him away, man. He was like, he would just look around, and whether it was a white person, a black person, a Latino person, he was just like, man, everybody's friendly to each other. And I was kind of like, what do you mean by that? And he was like, y'all are all nice. And I was like, what did you pay somebody to wear a hood and burn a cross in somebody's yard? Like, what did you think was happening down here?
God, that was
we're not all terrible. I mean, yeah. I was like, well, I mean, that was, don't come to the rally later. You're really going to be surprised.
It's crazy is that being I've been here for almost 5 years come July. If you compare this to Miami, where no one is courteous or friendly,
no one,
like people are pissed at their I went to a Cuban restaurant. I was on leave years ago visiting my brothers in Miami, and we went to this restaurant, and so they're serving me my food. It's almost like a deli kind of place. You see the food there, almost like a Subway for Cuban food, and they're serving you the food. And I'm being nice to the lady. I'm like, oh, can I get that one, please? And this one, oh, yeah, that one, please. Thank you. And so she like mocks me like, oh, please, thank you. And I look at her like, do you want me to just treat you like a piece of crap then? Is that funny to you? Like, I lost my mind. I was like, what? I forgot I had been away from Miami for so long because I had gone to college in Tallahassee, and then I joined the Army, and I went off to Korea. And then after that, like, I was in South Carolina. I think it's a thing of the South, right? I was in South Carolina, and I was in Tennessee, and just being friendly and courteous, and that whole Southern hospitality thing, like, doesn't go past somewhere in Georgia, maybe Jacksonville, but it doesn't get into Florida really.
Right.
No, not much.
Yeah, you got the Panhandle, and then once you, like you said, just south of Jacksonville or Tampa or something, it's probably back up to like the Northeast. Yeah.
Yeah, I was talking to my boy from Alabama yesterday. I was working with him, and I was like, I realized like because he still has an accent, mind you. He's lived in Florida 25, I think 25 years, right? He moved here when he was a kid, and I was like, damn man, you still got your accent. I started thinking, I was like, people in Florida don't really have an accent. Like we don't, like we're the South, quote unquote, right? But we don't have an accent. Like I grew up, I lived in a version of Florida for the last probably 30 years, 35 years of my life, minus the like 6 that I was gone. But I was like, there's no Miami is all Cuban, right? It's Spanish. I live in Bushnell. You've been in my house. Both of y'all been in my house. Yep. It's country as shit. And all my like this, but there's no accents here. Like I talk to somebody like you know what I'm saying, John Soul, fucking Jonathan Janagely, another one of our coworkers. Like all these people have an accent, and they live in Georgia, Mississippi. We got Pat Peak, Alabama, and like all these different places. And you have that accent. It's like that shit didn't make sense to me. Like imagine like these people like a white county town of like what I'm saying, like of Florida. Like Polk County is like Florida as fuck, right? And nobody had an accent. I was like, man, that shit didn't make any sense to me.
So I don't know if you've noticed it, but there is a Miami accent. It took me being removed from Miami to really realize it. Again, I went off to Tallahassee, didn't really notice it because I would come home and visit. Went off to Korea. I was in Korea for a while, and then South Carolina, then Washington State. I went home, and I would look. You realize someone like Colby, someone named Colby or Kevin or whatever, will be speaking. I don't know if it's because it's so many Cuban people or so many Latin people. There is like it's like the New York accent. Everyone from New York, not everyone, but people have that thick New York accent. There would be a dude who you would think is some kind of Latino, some kind of Cuban or mix or something. No, not even close. They like, having lived in Miami, they assimilate. I don't know what it is, but they pick that accent up, and they don't even know that they have it. And having been removed from Miami for so long, I was able to pick it up, and I was like, oh shit, like that's how I sound to other people. Maybe not anymore, but I think, oh shit, that's how I sound to other people.
No, you still understand, Joe.
I pick up a little bit when you talk a little to Miami. I can pick it up a little. Yeah. Say when I talk to Ben, I feel like Ben just sounds like an old country white guy to me. Like he doesn't sound. All right, that's just. Yeah, I mean,
he does. You know what it is? You know what's helped me keep that Miami accent is the anger. I think I stay angry, and so I think that's why it's still there. I've never lost it.
You said
I'm an old white dude.
Well, he said Kobe, and then he said Kevin, and I was like, well, it's Kobe with a C, because if he says another K name, I might got to get out of here.
No.
Like, is that subliminal messaging? Is it time to go?
You did talk about a hood earlier. But yeah, man. I don't know if I've lost my Miami accent, but I do. I remember, like, when I'm talking to my boy Danny, like, I remember I was talking to him. Like, I tend to have, like, I don't know how to say, like, I have, like, a white person's, I bust out, like, my white voice to make people feel more comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know why I do that shit, but, like, I remember I was talking to him, was like, who the fuck is that? I was like, that was me, man. He goes, what? Hey,
what kind of fucking exorcism is going on right now? Who just took over your body?
Yeah. The Clayton Bigsby type shit, man. Oh, God.
It's like Cat Williams when he's like, murder? Murdered who?
Murdered who?
Oh, shit.
And I didn't realize I did that shit. I remember I had him on speaker. It's back when we used to have 2 phones, Kobe. Like back when we used to, and then like Pat called me to check on me, like he would do every Friday. And I'm talking, and he called me. I was like, "Hey man, I forgot what I said." He goes, "Son, what the fuck was that?" I was like, "Who was that?" I was like, "It was me, man. What do you sounded white as fuck." I was like, first of all, I didn't know white had a sound, you racist fuck. But I guess I did. I guess I did.
You hear fiddles in the background.
You gotta put on some Chris Stapleton and make everybody feel real comfortable. Shit didn't even make sense. I was like, God damn. But yeah, that shit's crazy.
Hey, are you so good? You're not gonna be in the doghouse if you stay on?
Yeah, I was just looking at the time.
We got like 5 minutes.
Yeah, I'll get out here in about 5, which I'll get back after.
All right.
I appreciate you having me on, man. This is fun.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we can do this shit all the time. This is all we do. Next time, grab yourself a drink, and all we do is drink and
I was
talk
about
shit.
to say,
And talk about.
I see whiskey being drank.
I only have ice left. I already drank mine well before you came on. I think I've just been sipping on water.
So we're going up. We're taking a vacation next. I'm taking a week off next month for my birthday. We're going up to Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and then heading over to North Carolina. I looked into it. You could buy a barrel. You could buy a barrel of whiskey. Now, mind you, I'm not going to because I'm not rich because it's like 10 grand. But you could buy a full barrel of whiskey for 10 grand. And it's like equals out to like 240 bottles.
So you're gonna like Gatlinburg. I don't know if they're doing this still because of the pandemic and everything else.
COVID.
But when I was there, and we we went often, and we were in Clarksville, which was Fort Campbell, which was about 40 minutes. We were about 40 minutes from Nashville, so we drive out to Gatlinburg every so often, and they have all the distilleries there, and they have tastings.
Yep.
So they give you like 9 shots. Now they're mini shots. All those 9 shots probably add up to like 2.5, maybe 3 real shots. But you go to 2, 3, 4 tastings, and you're gonna be real nice. So then on one side you go to like the whiskey or the not the whiskey but the whiskey and moonshine and stuff like that. And then on the other side of that street, you can do like the wine tasting. So there's something for you and for Mel. Or for both of you. Just,
you ever been out there,
just
Colby?
do them both. Make sure someone's driving you. Call Uber.
No, I've got a buddy that about a year and a half ago moved to Lexington, and he lives up there in bourbon country. And so we've talked about a couple of us guys from back here maybe making a road trip of it and doing a couple of distilleries and doing the bourbon trail or whatever it's called, But I hadn't been up there, so.
Yeah. I've looked into, like, we've gotten into whiskey a lot on this podcast. Tried different ones. Like this bottle right here that I'm drinking from my decanter is like a $90 bottle, which will probably be the most I'll ever spend on whiskey. It was a little bit too much, and that shit really kicks. But I've looked into like trying to make it. You gotta like distill that shit for like 3 years. It's a whole process of like I don't have to like you do all that shit and then like it might suck at the end. You know what I mean? So I'm like I'm not doing that shit. I'll just buy a bottle. But yeah, we drink on this podcast and we talk shit, man. And then next week we're gonna eat hot sauce and possibly die on a live stream. There's a 3% chance of that happening. Like, well, one of us might die.
I like those odds.
Probably be you, Ben, for sure.
Yeah, 100%. I might throw I might have like a puke bucket next to me. I mean,
let's be honest.
Just
you
in
can't
case
even
it gets
handle
wild.
the Taco Bell mild sauce. So I'm looking forward to seeing how bad this is gonna hit you. I'm gonna
like a baby bag bitch.
It's gonna be bad. I got the fries that'll cross your eyes. I got the shakes that'll make you quake. I got the burgers. I just got burgers.
I just got burgers.
That's it. That's all I get. Yeah. Hey man, C-Dub, whenever you want to come on and talk shit, brother, hit me. You know we talk all the time. You're more than welcome. Open invitation always. My brother, thank you. Go hang out with those kids, man, and we'll talk, brother.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Appreciate it, guys. Y'all have a good night.
All right, man. Have a good one. Peace.
Later. All right.
Yeah, man. That was a good little.
It was.
It was a good little show right there. That was the first time we ever had like I guess jump in halfway through the show and then keep it moving.
Yeah, I stopped. Should I keep streaming?
No, I think we're good, right?
Okay, good.
Yeah, I think we're good. Yeah, brother. That was a good one.